Hello dear friends, I'm Marina from marsstars.net and this is the weekly horoscope of the week of the 4th of February. We have so many interesting things to discuss. Of course, the most important one is the new moon on the 4th of February. We are going to discuss how this new moon is placed and what kind of aspects do we have and how we can take advantage, and let me share with you that it will be a very positive one. Also, we are going to talk about the impact on each sign. So basically there will be a short prediction for each sign, so make sure to listen to your sun and ascendant sign as well. And after that, we are going to talk about some other interesting events during the week, like for example Mercury entering Pisces, Mercury sextile Uranus, and of course the sextile between Jupiter and the Sun. So here are my notes. This is what I'm looking at when I'm not looking at the camera. Please excuse me, but there are so many things and I want to make sure that we are covering everything. Before we dive into the new moon interpretation, let me share with you that there will be a webinar about the solar return charts, or also known as solar revolutions, one of the most interesting methods for personal prediction. So if you're interested and want to learn how you can work with this method, how you can make yourself a prediction using this method, you're welcome to check the links below the video for more information on that topic. Now, let's dive into the new moon. The exact time, 4th of February, and the exact degree, 16 degrees Aquarius. So first of all, we are going to discuss all of the aspects that this new moon has. But before that, let me remind you, what does the new moon represent? The new moon is an exact conjunction between the transit sun and the transit moon. It happens approximately once a month, once in 28 days to be more exact. And this is like a new beginning. This is literally the beginning of a new lunar cycle. And this is a great time for starting new things. Of course, we have to be aware that at the very moment of the moon is still invisible. So it doesn't mean that you should take the actions specifically on the exact day. Actually, it's recommended to wait a little bit. But after the new moon, until the full moon, so basically for 2 weeks approximately, we have some great opportunities for starting new things, for expanding in certain area, and generally the energy is higher, more dynamic, and more active on an outer level. So when it comes to taking action or social things or even about career, this is a very positive part of the lunar cycle. Now, of course, the sign of the new moon is the next thing, which is extremely important. Aquarius in our case. Aquarius is the sign of new things, the sign of revolutions, the sign of exciting experiences and surprises. So generally speaking, this is a great new beginning for new activities in terms of social work, generally speaking, in terms of being part of your community, or maybe becoming part of a new community as well. And generally you may feel really inspired on an intellectual level. Aquarius is a very mental sign, so we might be really impacted on this level. Now, we are also going to talk about the exact aspects that we have. You will notice that there are also other aspects which support the same thing. But generally speaking, this is a great time to focus on new ideas, something revolutionary, or at least something different, something not so typical for you, and something which can bring you more excitement and more variety in your life. Remember that variety is the key to happiness. If you don't allow yourself to try new things, you are also not allowing yourself to grow. And if you don't grow, you will eventually start to feel stuck. So this is a great time, this new moon is a great time to open up your mind for new opportunities, for more variety, and to be basically opened to exciting experiences. Of course, you need to pay attention. Where is this new moon falling in your chart? As we said, exact degree, 16 degrees Aquarius. So make sure to check if you have maybe a cusp of a house or any planet close to this degree. It means that the new moon will be especially important for you. Now, let's discuss the aspects that we have. First of all, Mercury is in conjunction with the new moon. Mercury in Aquarius, just like the sun and the moon, is actually in a very comfortable position. This is the exalted position for Mercury, which means a pretty strong and harmonious position. Great for new ideas, great for having a more untraditional way of thinking and approach. And also when it comes to communication or social projects, it is a great supportive position. Now, the other aspects that we have, I would say the most positive one is the sextile with Jupiter. Jupiter, which is in Sagittarius, the most harmonious position for Jupiter. So Jupiter supports the new moon in a very powerful way. And it is a great opportunity to expand your mind, to open up for new wisdom or new information or knowledge or anything which will make you more focused on the future and capable of achieving the things that you dream of. Because Aquarius in some way is also related to our dreams and ideals. And Jupiter as a planet of abundance and growth can really help you to be more successful, to be more positive and optimistic, and also to have a stronger belief in yourself, in your abilities, and in the initiatives that you're about to start or you're willing to start. The other aspects that we have are very interesting positions. So Saturn and Neptune will both make semi-sextiles with the sun and the moon. At the same time, Saturn and Neptune are connected with the sextile. So basically it will look like a triangle. So let me write it actually here to show you how it all looks like. So, okay, if you can see here this triangle, so here we have the sun and the moon, our new moon. Neptune makes semi-sextile with the sun and the moon. This is the 30-degree aspect. Saturn also makes 30-degree aspect with the sun and the moon. These are minor harmonious aspects, by the way. And at the same time, we have a sextile between Saturn and Neptune. So basically, all of these planets, Mercury is here as well. So let me see if I can write it. Okay, I almost managed. Okay, so all of these three planets here are connected with Saturn and Neptune, and basically they all together form a very harmonious combination. This is called a synthetic triangle. The synthetic triangle is great for materializations, for achieving things, and generally it brings more opportunities. So it is a very, very positive combination. Not extremely powerful, to be honest, because the aspects are minor, the semi-sextiles I mean. So there is a certain level of support or positive opportunities, but it is very important for you to take action. There will be no benefits if you are not ready to take the action and do the needed work. This is not a grand trine. This is not one of those, aspects when you can expect to receive things from the universe without even, putting any effort. This is a time of work, but at the same time, Saturn here can help us to be more responsible, to be more organized, to be more logical in terms of our decisions. And also Neptune, on the other hand, can bring more creativity, increased intuition, and ability to do something meaningful. So overall, this combination is very, very positive. Now, another aspect that we also have is with Mars. Mars isn't making direct sextile with the sun and the moon, but it makes with Mercury. And this is called an indirect aspect. So basically, we consider that also Mars makes sextile with the sun and the moon, which means great time for activities, for being more open to new things and taking action. Mars is the planet of our personal will, which can bring us more braveness, more ability to take risks, and also to react fast. So when you have a new idea, when you are inspired, you go and take concrete actions. You don't postpone, you don't wait until the future comes or something else happens. You do what you can right now. That's what Mars can help you with in this combination. And so here in our small picture, we can say that Mars is supporting here and Jupiter here. Okay, maybe the direction is not correct, but my point is that also the sun and the moon are in the middle between Mars and Jupiter, which are both supporting this new moon. So great time when we might be more confident, we might be more excited, we might be more inspired, and at the same time capable of taking action. Also, one more aspect that we have is a quintile with Uranus. Aspect which can allow us to make shifts and changes. Aspect which can bring even more excitement. It can bring some kind of choices that we can make or desire to change something. So this brings even more excitement and dynamics in the overall situation. And we should mention also that Venus is the only one which only planet, which makes a minor challenging aspect with the Sun, which is a semi-square. Venus is not a really negative planet, and we cannot expect to bring, some serious challenges. However, it can make us take things more personally. We might be emotionally more involved in the things that we start, but even in this case, we don't expect bad events. So generally, we can say that there are no harmful aspects related to this new moon. And actually, we can say the opposite. We have many supportive aspects. So again, I would like to remind you that it is a great time for new activities. Now, let's discuss how each of the signs can be impacted by this new moon. As you can see here, I have the list, but we are going to share a few words about each of the signs. So for Aries, this new moon activates 11th house. So great time for new social activities, great time to concentrate on your future plans, to do something together with your friends, to socialize with more people, and to be more active basically when it comes to people around you in general. For Taurus, the new moon is extremely important because it falls in 10th house, one of the key houses in the chart. So great time for new career projects, for focusing on new businesses or even starting new businesses or just new work projects. You may receive also more support from authority figures or people who have more power, and overall this may change your reputation or can bring you more success, or you might be more recognized by other people for the things that you are really doing. For Gemini, the new moon falls in 9th house, harmonious position because there is a trine between Aquarius and Gemini, especially if you have your sun or ascendant sign around the middle of the sign, between the 10th and the 20th degree. A very harmonious position for new goals, for learning new stuff, education, or other type of knowledge. Also wonderful for traveling. Maybe some people may want to go abroad, or they want to learn new things about other cultures, or there might be more interested about some spiritual stuff as well. Don't forget that ninth house is very important for our belief system as well. So it might be the time when you may consciously take the decision to make a positive shift when it comes to your mindset and your belief system. For Cancer, the new moon will fall in 8th house, a more specific position which sometimes may bring more intense situations. Sometimes they might be critical. Overall, this is a time to focus on your energy balance, including your resources, including how much you are taking or giving to other people. Mutual finances may also be an important topic. Of course, this may also be a great time for new investments, for, investing in certain activity. It could be also about business, of course, because 8th house is one of the houses which is important when it comes to business. Next, we have Leo. For Leo, the new moon falls in 7th house, another key position specifically related to your personal life. A great time for starting new relationships, especially when it comes to romantic stuff. But not only, this may also include business partnerships, business relationships. You might be supported from another person, and generally speaking, if you work together with another person, you may achieve better success. Next, for Virgo, this new moon falls in the 6th house, which is very important when it comes to your health, your work, and daily routines. Great time to start something new in regards to this area, like a new health regime, or a new diet, or physical exercises. Or, of course, this could be related to a new work project. Applying for a promotion, starting a new job, or maybe even doing something more independently. And don't forget that also this might be a great time to concentrate more on your daily routines and how you're planning your day in general. Next, for Libra, this full moon is very positive, new moon. The new moon is very positive because it falls in your 5th house. The house of love and emotions, and basically everything which is emotionally triggering us. Our children, our creativity, our hobbies as well. So wonderful time for new creative projects, for doing something together with your friends, or just focusing more on entertainment and the things that bring you joy. Don't forget that when we talk about creativity, it's not only limited to arts. This could be, creativity means to create something, and you may create things in your business. You might be an accountant, for example, and you may create things. You don't have to be an artist in order to create something. So don't neglect this position. It might be very, very positive. And of course, for personal stuff, new dates, spending more time with the people you love, it might be very, very productive time. For Scorpio, the new moon falls in 4th house, also key position related to your personal life. Time to make a change when it comes to your home, the place where you live, or the people that you live together with. It could be relatives, it could be your roommates, or other people like neighbors. But try to focus more on this personal stuff. It's a great time to start something which is personally important for you. Maybe improve something at home, maybe do something new which will make you feel more comfortable. Or, of course, you may focus on improving your relationships with relatives and all kinds of family members. For Sagittarius, this full moon falls in third house. A very supportive position for new information, new knowledge, traveling, learning new things, and of course, new ideas. As we said, Aquarius as a sign could bring great, new, exciting, original ideas. And third house is the house related to our mental work, our intellectual activities. So great time to start something new in regards to this area. For some people, this could be more focused on social media, for example, or their friends, or negotiating. But through communication and knowledge and information, you may achieve more. Next, we have to talk about Capricorn, my dear sun sign friends. For us, the new moon falls in second house. So it is time for focusing more on practical things, measurable stuff and resources. Of course, it also includes money and all kinds of personal belongings. Great time to start something new in regards to your finances, something which will bring you more money, something which will help you to balance this area. It could be a new career project or just a new system of how you're organizing and keeping track of your expenses may also be an option. And don't forget that second house is very important also for our health, because it directly affects our physical energy. So it might be a time to focus or at least pay more attention to that area as well. Next, we have Aquarius. Of course, for Aquarius, this is an incredibly important new moon, especially if you have your sun or ascendant sign in the middle of the sign between the 10th and the 20th degree. It's about personal new projects, everything which you are starting on your own, everything which will bring you more independence, which will bring you a personal change or shift, starting from your appearance or even your relationships or your career projects, basically everything that you are doing on your own. Go out. This is the best time of the year for you, especially if your ascendant is in Aquarius. This is a time for new risks, new projects, and new initiatives. And finally, for Pisces, this new moon affects their 12th house. So 12th house is not a material house. I mean, it represents things like our subconscious mind, our karma, our past experiences, our emotions. So it's time maybe to pay more attention to this area of your life. And when it comes to spiritual practices or activities, this is actually a very harmonious position. Generally not the best time for new social projects for Pisces, but more things which are personally important for you and related to your spiritual growth. So that's the general interpretation of this new moon. As we said, it looks like a very positive one. Now let's say also a few words about the other interesting aspects of the week. Basically, the most positive aspect is the sextile between the Sun and Jupiter. It will be exact on Thursday. So Thursday is great for new things, for being more optimistic. You may receive support, you may feel more inspired. So generally speaking, this week can be very, very positive for many people. One more thing which is also interesting is that we have no major challenging aspects this week, which are exact, I mean. Basically, that's great news, which means that the energy is more harmonious, more positive, and we may really achieve things easier, especially with the Jupiter support. Things may come easier than usual. Another great sextile is also between Mercury and Mars, again on Thursday, which can really make your mind more active, more capable of finding new solutions and taking immediate action in response to that new ideas, which generally is the key to success, you know, in exciting or at least original new ideas, and at the same time the ability to take the needed actions, which again is around the middle of the week, so basically we can feel the impact during the whole week. Another positive aspect that Mercury will make is with Uranus on Saturday, a sextile. Great aspect which can bring you even more original ideas than usual, even more positive surprises. For social things, this is great. For spending more time with friends or being inspired by another person and his own ideas, just perfect. Let me see if there is anything else. Yeah, of course, Mercury, which makes an ingression in Pisces on Sunday. This is a basically position which will impact us mostly during the week after this one, but we may prepare from now because the exact ingression is, as we said, on Sunday. Time to be more creative, time when we need to be extra careful, because with Mercury in Pisces, we are not so capable of noticing the small details. Mercury in Pisces is in a detriment position, which means that you can forget something, you may not be so logical when it comes to your decisions. And Pisces is a water sign, so things are about to get more emotional. Also, we may notice that socially we won't be so productive when it comes to negotiations or communication with other people after Sunday we meet. On the other hand, for, as we said, creative projects, for inspiration, especially artists can really benefit from this ingression. So I think that these are the most important influences. Yeah, I think that last week we mentioned that Venus is already in Capricorn, so don't forget about this as well. Basically, Venus enters Capricorn on the 3rd of February, if I remember correctly. So it is something new for us during the week that we are about to get used to. And with Venus in Capricorn, we may experience more stability when it comes to the emotional area, our relationships. Things are calmer, balanced, not necessarily expressed so much on an outer level, but on an inner level, we are really seeking for the stability and the security in our relationships and all kinds of emotional stuff. And for business negotiations, this might be a very harmonious position as well. So these are the major events during the week. And don't forget, as I told you, we are having a very interesting webinar about the solar return chart, or also called solar revolution. One of the most interesting methods for personal prediction. I will teach you about this on the 3rd of March. You can find the link below the video for more information, and you may learn how you can join us. It will be very informative. We are going to talk about how we can read our own solar return charts, which are the general rules, how we should start the interpretation, because there are so many things that we need to consider, and sometimes it's confusing, sometimes it's overwhelming. So we need to know what's the right strategy and what's the most important, where we should start from when we are interpreting the solar return chart. So I'm pretty sure that it will be very, very helpful if you're interested in learning more about astrology. So thank you very much again for joining me today. If you have any questions or comments, or you want to add something from your experience about this new moon or anything else that we've talked about, please leave your thoughts in the comments below. So that's it for today and for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to watch your daily horoscopes for a more in-depth information about each day, specifically position of the moon and overall interpretation. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you next week.